Welcome to Rabbi's Story Guys. As the rain beats down tonight, let's dive into stories that'll make your heart race. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the story. Brace yourself. It's about to get creepy. Let's begin. The janitor's shift. I've been working the late shift at a warehouse for years, cleaning up after hours, sweeping the floors, taking out the trash, mopping the halls. The kind of job that keeps you out of the way. Quiet. You don't ask questions, and no one asks you to do anything outside your little corner of the building. You just show up, do your job, and leave. But that's not what happened that night. This one stuck with me. It was late, probably around 2 a.m. The place was empty, just the hum of the lights and the distant sound of the air conditioning. The usual. I was in the main hallway, mopping up the floor, just moving methodically back and forth. The building had been a little off that week. Quieter than usual. No shipments coming in, no deliveries, just the emptiness of the place. I remember thinking how strange it felt. Like the building itself was holding its breath. I made my way down toward the storage section. This part of the warehouse was always darker. The kind of place where the lights flicker if you're lucky. That's where the old files and boxes are stored. Stuff that hasn't been touched in years. The floor was covered with dust. The air musty and thick, like it had been sealed off from the rest of the building. I heard something. At first, I thought it was just my mind playing tricks. But then I heard it again, faint, like a whisper, barely audible over the sound of the mop swishing across the floor. I stopped, listened. Nothing, just the silence again. But then, it came again. A voice, low, gravelly. Help me. I stood still for a moment. My heart was beating a little faster now. It was a quiet place, and I'd been here long enough to know every sound the building made. This was new. I didn't move for a while, just waited, unsure of what to do. But that damn whisper, it kept coming back. Faint, distant. I set the mop down, grabbed my flashlight, and followed the sound. It was coming from the back of the storage area, near a large stack of boxes. The voice had stopped, but I could still feel something in the air, like I wasn't supposed to be there. I turned the corner, and that's when I saw it. A door, half open. I hadn't seen it before. I'd worked this shift every night for the past 6 months, and I'd never noticed that door. The kind of door that doesn't look like it belongs. Rusty, old, hidden behind the stack of boxes like someone didn't want anyone to find it. The whisper came again. Only this time it wasn't a whisper. It was a cry. Help me, please. I didn't know what to do. I hesitated, standing there in the dim light. I didn't want to go any closer, but something inside me, something dark, curious, pushed me forward. My hand shook as I reached out and pulled the door open. The smell hit me first. Not just old dust. Something foul, like something had been rotting in there for years. I shined the flashlight inside. There was a small room, barely big enough for a person to stand in. It was cramped, dark. The walls were covered in scratches, deep gouges, like something had been trying to get out. And in the center of the room was something else. A figure, huddled on the floor. It was a man, or it used to be. His back was turned to me, his hands gripping his head like he was in pain. I couldn't see his face, just his ragged clothes, and the way he shook. I called out, "Hey, are you okay?" No response. I stepped closer. My heart was racing, and the air in the room was thick. As I moved closer, I noticed something that made my blood run cold. There were chains, rusted chains, bolted into the wall. They were connected to his wrists, his ankles. He couldn't move. And his skin, it was pale, almost gray. His fingers twitched, like he was trying to break free. But he couldn't. I reached out, ready to call the authorities. But then, he turned. And when he turned, his face, it wasn't a face, not anymore. It was twisted. Something had happened to him. His eyes were wide open, but they weren't right. Too wide, too bulging. His mouth opened, but there was no sound, just that same voice, echoing in my head. Help me. And that's when I saw it. The other eyes, in the shadows of the room. Behind him, I saw them, dozens of them, red, glowing. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I turned. I ran. I didn't stop. I didn't go back to that room. Didn't go near that part of the warehouse again. The next morning, I went back. I tried to explain to my supervisor, but the room, the door, it was gone, completely sealed off. The hallway looked normal again. There was no sign of that man, no traces, nothing. It was like the whole thing had been a dream. But I know it wasn't. I know what I saw. I don't work there anymore. And I'll never forget that cry for help.